It's the realist.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your guy Realistic, and welcome to my tutorial vault. That's right, I'm gonna start grabbing some of my most classic tutorials over the years out of the vault and re-releasing them. That way y'all can enjoy, get your mixing and mastering skills back up. So if you find any of the information useful, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. That way this keeps showing up in your feed, and sit back and enjoy the content. One of the more important things when it comes to recording and later on for our mix to be able to have a really high quality is the input value that you're doing of your gain of either your preamp or your interface. You want to make sure that you're not going in too high. You want to make sure that you're not clipping. And one thing I also want to point out too is that you can always churn it up later. Like if it's a little low, you can always go in the DAW and turn the clip gain up, versus if it's too hot and you distort digitally, which is a really bad distortion, you're never going to be able to fix that. That's always going to be in there, right? It's like if you're cooking and you burn your toast, right? You're never going to be able to unburn that toast. But if you don't cook the toast enough in the toaster, you could always put it back in the toaster and add a little bit more later on. But again, if it's burnt, you can't undo that. The same goes for these vocals. So you just want to make sure that you have them at the right signal. And so what I usually try to do is I try to make sure I got just enough headroom. Like on my mix channel, I like to make sure that I'm going off the actual mix channel, not so much the waveform going in, because with the waveform, you know, we can zoom in and out the height of the waveform, right? We can blow that up or minimize that. So the waveform that we actually see on the screen might trick us a little bit and deceive us, like, oh wow, that's actually not really coming in very much, but we may have the actual height of the track zoomed way down. So I usually go off of this, and I usually try to aim for an input gain of somewhere between like -10 or -8. That way there's a lot of headroom, and like I said, we can always turn the clip gain up a little bit later. And so another thing that I do too is I have the artist do like a little practice round real quick, and then just to kind of get their levels. So we'll go ahead and we'll do that. Hey bro, if you could go ahead and record your vocals here.
Mommy, know I'm so poppy. Coming in the room with a go body. Ain't here to play, ain't Monami. Looking at my girl like, oh mommy. Never with a bird like Coach Bobby. Put it on God, that's what.
Versus if I were to increase this.
Seen that kid with his own posse. Let it rain for the ART.
See how we're starting to get a little distortion? Even though we're not clipping the channel yet, we're starting to get a little distortion on his vocal, not a good one. So I kind of bring that down just so it's a little bit more subtle.
Monsters stand by the bed of my feet.
So I think that was a pretty good level that we had. We got about -10 dB, which is, I think, a pretty good lane. And like I said, we can always turn the clip gain up. We can always turn the channel up later on. So it's always good to have the headroom going in versus trying to fix it later. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch this tutorial. If you found it useful, be sure to like and subscribe, because it does help the channel grow. When you like a video, it tells YouTube that you liked it, and maybe other people will like it as well. And also be sure to check out my online mixing and mastering courses, the art of beat mixing, the art of vocal mixing, and the art of mastering, all available now. And if this video was helpful and you're looking for other videos, you can watch a video here, here, and here. All right, until next time, y'all.